It's been about 6 weeks since the Slabgate scandal broke open, and every day the detectives on Blowout Cards are uncovering more cards altered by Gary Moser and sold by PWCC through eBay. In fact, PWCC is having their premiere auction number 7 as I edit this video, and some of the cards they have listed have been shown to be altered, yet they're still up for sale. Knowing that it's still early in the scandal, I was curious to see what kind of prices PWCC has been getting for their auctions, to see if there's been any impact on their bottom line. I used the date of June 1st as a cutoff. That's when Blowout Cards member 312 first exposed the link between Gary Moser and Brent Higgins from PWCC. So I'll look at PWCC's auction prices realized before and after June 1st, 2019. For this video, I looked at vintage cards I'm interested in that I track sale prices of constantly. I started with the 1969 Topps Reggie Jackson in a 7. Before June, PWCC had 8 sales of this card, averaging $612 a sale, and they had 2 sales alone that averaged over $900. When PWCC sold this card earlier in the year, they were getting 23% more for it than the average seller on eBay. Now, since June, they've only sold this card once for $395. That's a huge drop, but I can't read much into a sample size of 1. Then I looked at the 69 Mantle in a 7. This card is a bit unusual because both before and after June 1st, PWCC was selling this card at an average sale price nearly the same as what any other seller got for it on eBay. There was no PWCC premium. After June 1st, there have only been 2 sales. Again, not enough to draw a conclusion. Another card I thought would have some data is the Nolan Ryan rookie in a PSA 6. Before the scandal broke, PWCC was getting 16% more for their Ryan 6s than the average eBay seller. Since June 1st, there were 4 sales, and that 16% premium has shrunk to less than 2%. The prices they get now are more than 10% lower than what they were selling for before June. I next looked at another popular card, the 75 Brett rookie in an 8. Before the scandal, PWCC was selling this card for a slightly higher price than average. But since June 1st, the 4 sales they've had have dropped about 10% behind the average. Since June 1st, the average non-PWCC sales price of this card has actually increased about 8%. PWCC's prices, on the other hand, have dropped about 6% since June. What makes this research challenging is that many of these vintage cards don't sell often, so it's hard to get enough data this early to draw conclusions. So, at the suggestion of my friend Vince, I looked next at 2 modern vintage cards with high pop counts. Before June 1st, PWCC was selling the 1980 Henderson rookie in an 8 for about 5% more than what an average seller was getting. But since June, this number has only gotten higher. They are now getting over 8.5% more. Now, the sample size here is only 5, so maybe it's hard to draw a conclusion. After all, the value of this card continues to climb, no matter who sells it. The Griffey card has 12 PWCC sales since June 1st. Like the 69 Mantle, there is no premium attached to PWCC auctions here either. Before June 1st, PWCC auctions sold for less than the average seller could get. And since June 1st, they are still selling for less than the average. PWCC is getting a higher price for this card after June 1st, but that's because, like the Henderson, the value of this card continues to rise, like other 80s cards. Looking at this data as a whole, I have a couple of observations. First, I see prices all over the place. In some cases, PWCC is seeing a hit on their prices. With other cards, they aren't. But it's clear that collectors are still paying good money for PWCC's cards. This is somewhat surprising considering the irrefutable evidence that Brent Higgins conspired with Gary Moser to sell altered cards on eBay without disclosing it to buyers. Is it that there are still buyers out there that don't know about this yet? Or is it that they don't care? I'm not sure. Second, the one area where there may be an impact is on those large premiums that PWCC used to get on cards like the Jackson and Ryan rookies. Those premiums have evaporated to the point where PWCC's prices are now nearly the same as everyone else's. And if that remains the case, it takes away a lot of the incentive for collectors to consign with them. So maybe we'll see less volatility in vintage prices. Of course, this story is far from over. We have the drama of the National coming up in a few weeks, and we all know any potential criminal investigations take time. Again, thanks to the Blowout Card members 312, Corndog, Dan, and Captain Spaulding for their hard work bringing this issue to light and keeping it on the front burner. What do you guys think about this early data? Does it mean anything yet? Drop a comment below. Thanks for watching. I really appreciate all the thoughtful comments, conversations, likes, and subscriptions. And collect what you love.